Hello, everybody. Some people let them also. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Now I can see my participant list and let them in. Hi, welcome to Vancouver ChatGPT Experts. This is the third session that we have, and we are going to officially start the main presentation. Today, we are going to talk about how to build a better relation with ChatGPT. This session is in level 100, which means it's more of a basic concept. And, whenever we are posting an event, we try to say what is the level. Then if you think you are, really advancing it and you don't want to come into the basic, sessions, then you know about it. Then we're going to have 100 series, which is basics, 200, which is intermediate and functionals, and 300, which is more of an advanced, functional for programming and integration. Let's have a quick overview of our group. We started back in April with 257 members. Based on the last, review I had earlier today, we have already 601 members in our group with the third session, which is over 220 yes RSVP. We are here to talk about the crazy experience that we have and learn and share with each other. We're going to have a once a month meeting. It's going to be online for now. Maybe one day, we are going to have a live session and get a place and everybody come in and we can meet face to face as well. Yeah. Okay. Wrong direction. This way. Okay. Little bit of disclaimer. Obviously, as Mosem was saying earlier, everybody's here to learn. The fact is, this is a very new concept. Everything is changing very quickly. The platform is new. Therefore, we are all here to learn. And there is nobody as a real an expert. Then please, observe the information. But when you want to use it, if you need, take some advice from a special, expert in that. Yeah. I'm gonna put everybody on mute here to make sure that we're gonna be all mute. Thank you. And unfortunately, our Zoom license is not allowing more than 100 participants at the time. Then so far we are safe, but as we have over 220, RSVP, let's see how many people are going to show up, but the first 100 going to join and the rest end up to watch the recording that we are recording right now. This is going to be the agenda for today. We're going to talk about ChatGPT, cheat sheets. I'm going to give you some ideas about, how you can leverage the ChatGPT. Then I'm going to introduce you to prompts and some functional prompts. And at the end, I'm going to introduce some other tools in AI that you can use for different purposes. A little bit of QA if you have time, and what's going to be the next session for our group here. Any question quickly before I want to start the actual presentation? All good? Perfect. Let's move forward then. Okay. Who am I? My name is Ali Tavanayan, and if you hear Nemo, that's Nemo, because he might start barking in the background if somebody passing by or something. Now, I'm the founder of Vancouver ChatGPT. By education, I'm a software engineer, PMP, Microsoft certified engineer, and I also have GTM strategies for different startups, tech companies. And by knowledge area, I'm more of a oil and gas industry than e-commerce, POS, and retail. Then you know a little bit about me and what I do usually. I'm gonna let Brian in as well. Let us start with ChatGPT. When we go to ChatGPT, obviously we ask about something. A simple question like, a marketer who's going to say, you know what, write me an article about ChatGPT, right? You can type this same sentence and get a really long result from ChatGPT, as easy as that, okay? Or you can little bit start massaging. Ask everybody. I should have put everybody on mute. Yeah, okay. Then you can say, hey, can you provide me some idea for a blog post about weight loss, for example? Can you provide me some idea for a blog or an article about, I don't know, let's say best practices for making the best martini. Okay, then write a product description for me about a specific product or a company. You can ask the question, but the problem is, what's the right way to ask the question? Okay, you can start adding and massaging a question to something like a little bit better, like say, hey, write an article about ChatGPT. First, give me an outline which consider a headline, and add this and that, and write 5 subheads and type 5 keywords. You can ask something like this, and it's going to give you a better response, but not the best yet. Then what is the right way to ask ChatGPT to give you the content? Prompts. Asking the right question means prompts. That's the right way to do it. Then what is a prompt? Anybody knows what's the prompt? Can anybody explain a prompt for the rest of the group?
Instruction.
All right, that's a kind of an instruction. Do you know what's the body of a prompt supposed to be?
Examples.
Examples, definitely gonna help us, the examples. But, I'm trying to be able to see my next slide to make sure that I'm on the right. Okay. There are keywords that you need to use to write the prompts. Okay. The keywords all over the place. You're gonna hear lots of something like a search it, define it, design it, summarize it, analyze it, create it. But there's actually a structure to design a prompt. The easiest, most basic concept to get a prompt is to make it like this. Say, act as a specific role, create the task that you're looking for, and show it as the format that you want to get it back. Okay. Let's talk about some of the examples and see how we can, take these roles in action. These are some samples of the roles and tasks and formats that you can use. For example, you can say, hey, I want you to act as an accountant. Write me an article in a PDF format. Okay, then that's a combination of the things you can use. Right now, most of the people come into ChatGPT and asking it to act as an accountant, act as a lawyer. As you might know, ChatGPT passed the law bar as well as a CPA. Then it's really considered a CPA, accountant, and as a a lawyer that you can ask questions. Definitely, the answer gonna be, hey, you know what? I'm just an AI machine, and this is just advice. And it's gonna have its own disclaimer, but you can counter it because it already passed the law bar. Then you're gonna ask what kind of knowledge you want the ChatGPT to use. What do you want to end up as a result? Are you looking for a blog post or an email or just some idea about the title of a letter? Or do you want it to add a copy, write an ad copy for you? And do you want it in a CSV format, or do you want it as a, that ad copy to be HTML that you can post it on your website? Then those are all the possibilities that you can ask ChatGPT to create it for you. Okay. Now, let's look at some of the examples. Let's act like a designer. Okay. For example, you can say, generate an example of UI design required for a, I don't know, let's say weight loss mobile app. Okay. It can create an actual pictures, graphic design, or give you a, let's say information architecture design. That's the reason you need to ask the right question. Then what's the formatted data you want it out of it? Or you can say, how can I have one design, a law firm website in a way that convincing trust and authority? Then these are exact questions. If I copy and paste it right now in ChatGPT, you will see a very beautiful results. Okay. As a developer, you can ask for a specific source code. You can ask it to write a code for you. You can copy paste your code and say, hey, can you find where is the error? Because whenever I compile it, it gives me a syntax error or some exceptions. Then the ChatGPT can rewrite the code for you. Now, let's see how we can take a little bit, advanced role when we are going to use it. You can ask, and use the words as act as or explain this to force the ChatGPT to take that role. Then the type is saying, hey, act as a Linux terminal and give me the result of this command. Then the system's really going to go to that mode and give you the result. Okay. When you say, hey, I want you to become an English teacher and write me an article, then that's definitely going to be a different result than just say, hey, write me an article. Okay. Sometimes you might write an article and say, hey, you know what? But I wanted you to be like a 5 years old. This is an article for 5 years old. Or you might at some point say, hey, you know what? I want you to write, work on an advertiser, but write a copy and explain it for seniors who has diabetes. Then the more details you add to your ask, the better result you get from ChatGPT. Does it make sense? Right. Let's go to the next one. Let's say, you know what? I'm a beginner and just say, hey, explain this specific topic in a simple process for me. Okay. Then you can have a small, simple prompt. For example, here I have some simple prompt for a salesperson. How can I improve my sales by pitching better, content about to the potential clients? Okay. Or how can I leverage social media to boost my sales traffic or efforts? These are the kind of the prompts that you can use. One of the things that you will see today are going to give you lots of ideas about what you can ask from ChatGPT. By the way, I'm going to share these slides later as well as the recording. Then if you want to, the copy of the slides, you will have it, in a PDF format by tomorrow. You will find it in the group's comments, and you can download it from there. Let's talk about other prompt, some of the other functions and functional prompts that you can add and you can, ask. For example, you might say, hey, provide me with an idea outline for an efficient and persuasive blog post. This is really, really general, right? But you can ask something like this. Then what you can do, you can get the first idea or whatever you want and start continuing the conversation with ChatGPT, okay? Which is, I'll call it interconnection prompting, okay? For example, let's look at what you can do. Say, you know what? Write me a 5 headline about 5 ways to lose weight, okay? Okay. Then system going to come back with 5 topics for you. What you can do is say, now you write me a blog post considering, let's say you massage those 5, headlines. You're gonna do back and forth to get really 5 juicy headlines that you like. Okay. Then you can say, hey, now write me a blog post considering those 5, headlines. Then you're gonna get the blog post. Now you got a blog post, you want to massage it next level. Say, hey, consider the blog post you write, and I want you to rewrite it, considering senior with diabetes. And on top of that, I want you to add 5 points about the food they should not consume, okay? And keep it like, sounds like fun. That's how you can do the interconnection between different prompts. And the fact is, when you start a chat, ChatGPT will remember the conversation within the same session. Is it going to be forever? No. As far as I heard, it's going to be about the last 3,000 words that you used. I don't know about the actual, limitations, but it will look at all the conversation, and the next answer you receive will be based on all the things that you talked in the same session. If you start a brand new session, if you start a new chat, or if you go to another computer and log in as a different user, don't expect to, get the same kind of continuous conversation, because that session is gone. I want to make sure that there's nothing come up in the chat box here. Okay, there are some questions. Mostly have access to version that out with pictures of PDF. There's a basic text version. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to go to the next slide now. These are some samples of the, the prompts that you can use for business owners. Okay. For example, as a business owner, you can say, give me a list of inexpensive, ideas how to promote my business. Okay. Or create a 30-day social media content strategy based on this and that. Okay. These are all the kind of samples that you can use for different businesses. Earlier I was talking to one of the guys. Sorry, I don't remember your name, but he was I believe, a mortgage broker, if I'm not mistaken. And I was thinking of, okay, how can I leverage, ChatGPT to become the chatbot for my business? Then even that question itself could be asked from ChatGPT. Then anything that you want about ChatGPT, ask ChatGPT. That's the best source to give you the answer. I have quite a longer sample here about how to find a dream job. Imagine somebody looking for a job, seeing a job post, and want to get that dream job. Okay, how we can take advantage of ChatGPT to get to that job. This is like 4 or 5 slides that I'm going through continuous process to see how you can take advantage of ChatGPT. Okay. Then first thing first, let's ask ChatGPT to analyze that job description for you. Okay. Just copy paste the job and say, hey, can you tell me, highlight the most 3 important responsibilities in the job description? And here's the job description. Then it's going to go through the whole process, come back with the top, important responsibilities upon that job post for you. Now you know what are the top 3 most important ones. Next thing you can say, hey, let's customize my resume around that top 3, points. Then you can say, hey, please personalize my resume for this job titles for that company. And because you're continuing the same conversation, okay, it can look at those highlights and say, hey, consider those highlights from the job post. Okay, here is the, my resume. You have to provide all those details, because the ChatGPT doesn't know who you are, or it doesn't know anything about your resume. You have to copy paste it, okay, your resume in a plain text format. Okay, and the best thing is, whenever you do something, make sure you put the double colon at the end of the line and go to the next line, because that's telling, hey, this is where it starts. My resume starts from this point. The job description starts from this point. Okay. Now we have a customized resume with ChatGPT. The next thing we can say, okay, let's optimize your resume bullet points and say, hey, could you please rewrite this, my resume under 30 words in a very compelling language and some bullet points. Then those bullets that generated now use for your cover letter. Now you can ask even the ChatGPT to write that cover letter for you, considering those points, that personalized resume, and the actual job post. And that would be one of the best ways you can get to that dream job, but just using the ChatGPT to analyze the job description, highlights it, personalize the resume, write the covering letter, and then apply for that job. Obviously, now you want to go for the interview. You can now ask, okay, you know what? I want to go for the interview. Can you tell me what are the skills that I need to have and highlight in this interview for this job? Okay, can you tell me about the 10 most common questions that they're going to ask me in this interview? Obviously, next thing is going to be, you're going to ask, okay, what's the best answer for these 10 questions for an interview? Are we good so far? Any question?
Yes, I have a question. So I notice you're saying paste an awful lot, but can we just type that in and then not have to put inside the parentheses?
Obviously, you can copy and paste. Sorry, you can type in. Usually I'm saying copy and paste because I assume that you already have your resume ready. You can just copy paste it. But if you want to start, typing, you just type into ChatGPT. By the way,
well, I'm thinking of the simpler things like the job description or the role or job title.
Okay.
Obviously, the resume would be easier to copy. And
usually you find a job post somewhere online or a PDF or an email, right? Then that was the reason I would say, hey, get copy and paste the job post. Say, hey, this is the job post. Here is my resume. And can you tell me this? There's no limitation. Have you ever used the ChatGPT before?
I dabbled with it back in December, January. I know it's evolved a lot since then, but frankly, it wasn't very accurate back then.
If you go to the paid version, which is allow you to use the ChatGPT 4, obviously you get a more advanced, machine helping you out, and you might get a better answer than a ChatGPT 3 and 3.5. I'm gonna actually run this quick poll here and see how many people, because I'm not really sure what's the audience here today. Let me see, how can I run my questionnaires? Okay, let's launch this poll. Okay, can you see the questionnaire on your screen?
Yes.
All right. Then first question, just tell me, I want to know, from the audience, have you ever used ChatGPT, or, you are new to this? And let's just get an idea of who are the audience, and, out of the almost 30 people that we have here, how many using the ChatGPT constantly? And then tell me about what kind of event you would like to see next time. All right, I can see that, about 45% said they never used it before, about 47% they saying you use it here and there, and about 33% right now saying that they're using it every day. When it comes to the topics, about 50% are interested about seeing 100 series, about 31% 200 series, and 30% 300 series. And sound like most of the people are looking for work-related, contents. Then after the work-related, definitely real-life scenarios are the second one. And next is educational related. And last one is the fun. Guys, you're not fun. Fun should be the number one with ChatGPT. Okay. I think it's almost a stop. I don't see a new result coming in. Let's see if I can end the pool here and share the results. Can you see the result right now on your screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just want to let you see the answers that I'm seeing. Then at least I have the idea that I know that about a quarter, 25% of the people joining us here that they never use ChatGPT. Then that might not be a bad idea. Just do a quick walk into ChatGPT at some point later, in one of the slides, and show them how to use ChatGPT for the first time. Okay, let's go to the next one, which is what else you can use the ChatGPT for. Okay. If you do social media, emails, researches, search engine optimization, writing ads, or anything else, anytime any question comes to your mind, thinking of how to convert it to a prompt and ask the ChatGPT. The most important is to say, what is supposed to act as, what kind of content you want, and how do you want that content to be. Before I'm going to the alternative, tools and tell you about the other tools available in the market, let's maybe share my screen quickly and do a very quick overview of the ChatGPT for those who never used the ChatGPT before. We said that this is a 100 level session. Then for those who already know ChatGPT, stay with me. I'm gonna keep it short. I'm just gonna do a very quick, review and come back. All right. Then I'm gonna put my own ChatGPT on the screen, and I'm going for a brand new chat here. Okay. When you log into ChatGPT, even for a free version, you're gonna be on the ChatGPT 3.5. If you go to the paid one, you can get to the ChatGPT 4. Then I'm gonna just select the 4 right now and start a brand new, search. And what I can do, let's use one of the examples from the slides. Okay, then I'm gonna go back to my PowerPoint and get one of the, the posts that I had earlier. Okay, I'm gonna use this one. Then let's say, actually, it's not going to give out the ChatGPT itself, not going to generate a UI design as a graphic design. I haven't run it, but I'm pretty sure we're not going to get the UI design as a graphic design. It might give us the idea about how to do the UI design. Let's say for weight loss, app. You just ask the question, and here you go. It's gonna start giving you the answers, and it will surprise you. To be honest, this is the first time I'm running this command itself myself, and let's see, look at it. I'm gonna let it finish first. Here you go. Going back up there is telling you all the pages and how you're going to design the pages, from the onboarding screen to registration, the goal setting, gallery counts, exercise planner. Here we go. That's definitely sounds like a, weight loss app. I want to say, hey, I need this app to target seniors with diabetes. Okay, and let's say, please rewrite it. Even about the fields that you're gonna ask, they're gonna give you the idea. Now the goal setting, I'm pretty sure are gonna be more considering the seniors and people with the diabetes. I have no doubt that it's gonna start, considering. Okay, we're gonna start a brand new chat and do another exercise here, just again to just see how crazy it works. I'm copying something else from my samples in the slides. What are the key elements of successful landing page? There you go. Let's see. This answer itself could be a blog post for a website. Sometimes you receive this answer and you say, you know what, not really. And I want to just redo it again. Okay, then you can ask the ChatGPT to repeat this response. Okay, then but just clicking on the response again. Okay, and when you click it, as you can see, 2 out of 2. It means you already have the first one. Now it's regenerating the same one in a different way. Then that's one of the ways you can, optimize the answer. You can run it once, twice, third time, collect in between and make that interconnection and say, between this and this and that, could you rewrite it? Could you add something? Okay. As you can see, this is the second one. If I go to the first one, then we have different, answers. Clear, concise headline, and then this one is clear and compelling headline. They look alike, but some parts are different. For example, number 5 is social proof, and here's benefit and features. Okay, then 6 becomes a social proof. Then sounds to be the social proof going to be a very important one because it's repeating it again and again, the same answer. Okay, did we just get some idea for those who never use ChatGPT, how ChatGPT works or how easy it is? Good. All right.
Yes, I'll do Dali. Sorry, may I have a question?
Go ahead.
Yeah, look, for example, for me, it's not easy to decide to have the which one, as basic or 2 or 3 or 300 or 400. It's not clear for maybe for the ones they are here. It's the first time that they're going to use the ChatGPT. Could you please help, tell us how we can sign up to have, which one of these ChatGPT?
Or how you can sign up for ChatGPT?
Yeah.
Okay, that's actually very easy. And if I log out here, okay, then literally you're going to chat.openai.com. That's the website you want to go, and it comes to the login page. If you I can put this in a chat box for you.
Thank you so much.
Here you go.
Then you can choose which one you can have, right?
You can sign up. If you never had an account, you can sign up. Easiest way to log in with your Google Gmail account or Microsoft account or Apple account. Okay. Then as soon as you sign up and log in, then you go back to the login. which I'm logging in right now with my company account, which is the paid one. Okay, then that's it, you're in. And the first
Okay.
coming in, it's empty. These are my previous chat with it, and it got a history of what I talked about it. Okay. For example, earlier I was getting some legal advice from it. I had a contract, then I sent the contract and say, hey, what part of that contract has an issue? Because of the confidentiality, let me open it on the other page and bring up the portion that I can share. Then, for example, as a kind of like a lawyer, it came back and told me, okay, then in this contract, then where you said services and a scope of work, this is the challenge, okay? You didn't really describe the exhibit A, and somewhere you say, as we agreed, hey, that's the phrase that the lawyers don't like, okay? Then the termination of this contract, then it has some ideas about it, the payment term, or at some point, the intellectual, the non-compete. I didn't have a non-compete in that contract, and it's reminded, hey, add some non-compete with it. It's too long, but oh, sorry, I had a non-compete. Didn't have the another thing. Then I put in say, hey, because it knows I'm in BC, and in BC is actually 24 months because I went and search it and say, hey, non-compete is maximum 24 months, and it was right about it. Then I did that, and later I say, okay, can you rewrite me the confidentiality term again? And he wrote me, because he said the confidentiality has an issue, and he wrote me the whole confidentiality term based on the actual contract. And I did it. Sounds like I saved at least 2 back and forth to my lawyer. Then I double checked it with the ChatGPT first. Then I send it to the lawyer for the actual review, final review. Because each of those reviews, which I got it for free from ChatGPT, was like a jilling $300, jilling $600. Okay. Right, let's go back and continue with the slides. I hope for those who never use the ChatGPT, that quick demonstration give you a little bit of confidence how you go and create your account today and start practicing some things. The fact is, ChatGPT is not the only artificial intelligence out there. There are specific AI tools out there that we are really focused on a specific area of the market. For example, you probably saw those crazy pictures created with ChatGPT. Actually, I don't have it as a part of the slides, but let me actually open it on the screen because I have it on the side here. I collected some of them, actually the earliest one. And let me just bring up some of those graphic generated with ChatGPT, because I'm realizing that lots of people in a basic level and ChatGPT photos. There you go. Can you believe this is not a real food? This is not a real, photo. It's generated by ChatGPT through asking a specific prompt to create this Bennett breakfast with spinach and bacon, beets, or convert it to this beautiful burger, or this specific salmon roll, okay? Or even go a little bit more crazy, making Elon Musk a kind of I'm not sure exact term for the dress that he's wearing, but these are all the things that, oh, this is a lava eating competition picture that this is all generated by ChatGPT. Okay, sorry, some of them little bit too harsh. Anyhow, I just wanted to say that there are tools out there that are specifically designed for writing, for coding, for researches, for presentation, even generating music. Actually, a little while ago, I know somebody had a wedding and used, one of these platforms to create. He wrote he could write a poem, for his bride, and use the ChatGPT and one of these tools to create a music on top of his poem, and made it a special wedding, music for his bride. And that's how you can take advantage. If you wanted, hire people to write them, make that music, it would have been at tens of thousands of dollars, which you could have get it for almost free. To get familiar to some of the logos, also I put it in this format, that at least you get an idea about the logo of some of the other platforms out there. For example, Adobe already get into the market for when it comes to the images, or when it comes to research. Right now there are platforms, but as we know, all the universities and research centers become more concerned about this. One funny thing, it's so easy to get an article, copy paste it in ChatGPT and say, did you write this? And it's going to tell you itself, yes, I wrote this. That's so funny how easy it is. You will find out if somebody's cheating. And you just try it. Try it. Just if your resume is original, give it to it and say, hey, did you write it? And ask it to revise your resume and give it back and say in a new chat, say, did you write it? And you will be surprised.
But what if you just change a few words?
Pardon me?
If you change some of the words, then it won't be an exact match.
It's not going to be as easy as a few words. It's first of all, if it goes to academia and then universities and teachers, they have everyone has their own kind of like a cheating rules. What and when they consider it as a cheating. Is it when it's 10%, when it's 20%, when it's 50%? Then you need to either how much content you want to override and change before you hand it over to some centers. But I personally at some point had it, because I know when it's come to search engine optimization, if you ask ChatGPT to write something for you and you post it on your blog, on your website as a blog post or a news, don't expect to get any like SEO advantage out of it, because Google already penalizing if you're using, AI generated content for SEO.
Oh, I'm curious though, if you copy paste, so you have something generated by AI, ChatGPT, and then you just change a few words and then ask ChatGPT, okay, did you write this? I'm curious how ChatGPT would respond.
I would say if it's less than 30%, it's definitely gonna tell you, yes, I wrote it.
Oh, so, okay, all right, thanks.
Definitely less than 30%, they're gonna say, yes, I wrote it. But I would say to be safe side, you need to go to up to 50%, rewrite. And that was exactly what I did. Then I generated a blog post and I wanted to just double check, see the conversion rate with the SEO. Then I changed it. I keep changing, give it back. I said, did you wrote it? Say yes. Then I change it again, give it that. Did you wrote it? And he said, oh no. So okay, that's safe now.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, and here I don't see where it is. We are at 7 o'clock right now. We are almost on top of our 1 hour. This is but we have a little bit time if somebody has some experience and done some crazy things with ChatGPT. to share their experience, tell us what they done, what kind of answers do you receive, or if there is any question, that's about the time. Then you can just, raise your hand or just unmute yourself and share your experience with everybody here. I'm also interested to hear that.
Hi, Ali. How are you? Can I start if that's okay?
Hey, go ahead, Sina.
Thank you very much for this. I actually just now during your presentation was able to create an account. Previously, last week, every time I tried to create a new account, I was receiving an error saying that it's not operating at the moment. But regardless of that, I did try speaking to chat right now, and it did produce some interesting results. But I just want to see if you or anyone in the audience has tried asking for example, programs that will assist you in, let's say, a project or other material. And if there's any trick in what to type in because like I tried right now and one of them produced some code, but the others just explain the steps and processes.
Do you want me to just give you a little bit surprise here? That's about
Please do, yes, thank you.
programming. Okay, I'm gonna go ChatGPT.
Thank you.
Write me a simple CRM in I don't know, Symfony. Okay, that's Symfony is one PHP framework. Okay, then it's a very specific language, and use APIs, or let's say REST APIs to allow search for contacts. Okay. Is it, sounds like, Sina, you are a programmer. How long do you think it takes to write something like this?
Actually, I am not a big programmer, but I am trying to learn more, and I'm interested to, again, get as much help as I can, but I'm not too sure how long that would take. But what I wrote was the response was something similar to this. I didn't receive, actually, this one does provide some code.
It really helps to tell it what language you want the code in.
Yeah, I can just go back and say, you know what, instead of a Symfony, now to write it back for me in C++ or C#, or I don't know, Visual Basic.
Okay.
And here you go. That literally is the source code for that very simple CRM. Now, if I don't like it, I might say, hey, I need this CRM to capture name, full name, email, and telephone. Rewrite the app again. Now you're going to see the database structure probably going to change and add those. Here you go. That's the database structure changed right away.
That makes sense. Thank you very much. Thank you. I will do that.
And if I say, hey, rewrite the same in C#. Okay. Now it's going to be all C# and give you the .NET based environments. Name, full name, email, telephone. Here you go, is defining the methods. Now start up the CS. That's going to be useful API, like in the controller.
We don't need programmers anymore.
Okay.
I should say be careful with this. I've used it for things like rewriting Google worksheet formulas, and it's made some horrible errors.
Definitely check anything comes out of it. Never, ever, ever trust the content that is writing for you. Definitely review it, not once, twice. Okay. Sometimes there are some crazy nonsense things comes up in the contents, especially if it's an email and a long one. Review them. Yeah, never 100% trusted. Okay.
Agreed.
Then that's definitely recommended all the time. You're absolutely
Great point.
yeah. Okay. Any other experience or question that anybody has? Some funny things happen with it, ChatGPT, or done something exciting that they want to share with the rest of us?
Well, for our company, we use this. I personally use this to analyze survey results.
Okay.
So
Interesting. Yeah.
so you have
What format do you give it?
well, just plain language. So we have close-ended questions and free-form responses. So the numerical analysis, I do that myself in Excel, but the sentiments, the free-form open-ended questions, the free-form responses, I would generate at least twice. Ask it to create a summary. It does a pretty decent job, and different as you were saying. Sorry, your name again. The host here.
My name's
Ali.
Sorry,
Ali.
it was Ali.
Yeah.
So Ali, this is fantastic. By the way, this is amazing. Thank you so much for this. So I generate at least twice. I regenerate more than once. And yeah, I just combine the different summaries that it generates and make it my own. Just rephrase it, and it's like I'm the one writing it. But I get so much. I don't have to think, spend time. It gives me all the words that are in my thoughts, so I just rewrite it, but not too much.
Okay. I'm going to just wrap up this session with the last slide of today, which is about the next session. Then our next session gonna be on July 5th, and we're gonna be talking in the 200 level, which is we're gonna go a little bit more advanced, and the session gonna be addressing security concerns in ChatGPT. Then if you are interested and you think that's something you wanna hear about it, go and start RSVP. I didn't put the content about it yet. I just made it today, but already talked to the speakers, and we already have a speaker for this event next month. If anybody wants to share some experience, some knowledge, or have a very good interesting topic about AI, it shouldn't be just ChatGPT, but even if it's AI, another platform in AI, we are really interested to hear it from you. Then be in touch with me or one of the co-organizer. And we are more than happy to set up that session for you. Then by this slide, I'm gonna call the end of the session for today and stop the